Hey Internet, how's it going? Gangsta this week was actually really fun to me because giving us way more info about Nick and the family in which that he's sort of, well, that him and Warwick are, or they have good relationships, ships with, as this episode is primarily talking about the fight that is going on between Nicholas and Doug, and I swear that shit is really fucking amazing. Even though technically Nicholas, he did sort of have to overdose on uppers in order to fight him, or at least like to fight him to the point, or at least like outlasting the fight there. Because even though technically, you know, he may not necessarily outclass Doug, he does sort of have like he does have the stamina to actually sort of keep up with him and also sort of wear him down, even if he does have to overdose on uppers to fucking do so. But like any information given us about Nick when he was younger, apparently when he was classified as a C3 when he was, I believe when he was 13, somewhere around 13 or 14, like early on around those times, it's like he actually really did have enough skill to break into the family, or at least break into the fucking homestay of the family in which that I believe that he was working for, or it's the family of that it was the family of the guys in which that he's working with, or at least like that they work with from time to time. He broke in there as a kid to get revenge for somebody he knew, and they stopped him somehow. They don't fucking know how they did it, but they fucking did it. If anything, I would guess that Nicholas, he probably overdosed then, and then used that to sort of like give himself like the positive combat skills and shit to take everybody down, which is a pretty cool thing for the little dude. Excuse me, but really getting into like the whole like other half of this episode, they also talk about the whole like 5 little 3 rules in which that the Twilights have, so that they can be seen as equals out there in the world. And some people out there who some people who actually look at these rules, they don't fucking like them because again, it's segregation. It's not necessarily like a thing of where it's like, okay, it's like you have normal rules just like everybody else. It's a segregation thing, saying because from what they show in the past, it was very fucking difficult just to find places to eat. I mean, like Twilight's had a hard enough time just trying to find places to eat and fucking sleep. So I'm like, really, it's a very difficult thing there. So pretty much everything it does sort of explain. It's like, well, yeah, this shit is pretty fucked up. And then that's when we meet two other characters who I don't necessarily seem to dislike in this series, Gina and Ginger. Ginger, she seems to be an S-class. I only say that because Doug and Nicholas are both classified as A-class, and they're pretty much just doing like normal Dragon Ball Z shit. But I'm like, Ginger comes in and she's doing shit to where like where like she has enough speed and reflexes to do things and appear fucking invisible and just snatch people up without them even noticing it. So I would have to say that she is an S-class. Now, I'm not necessarily sure how far her S-class goes, but she does seem to be up there. I mean, give or take that, like every class goes from 5 to 0. So if they're A0 and she's an S-class, she's somewhere around from 5 to 0, but I don't necessarily know what. And then we meet Gina, I believe that she's also a Twilight. Well, that's thanks to Ginger and her talking to Warwick and telling him to stay out of the Twilight's business and calling him a normal, you know. And it seems though that Gina, she does care a little bit about both Nicholas and also Doug, even if she does say, or at least like, even if she says that it's just for the just to keep all the rules in check because, and also we learn why Doug is there, because he's out to kill a man I believe who actually has ties with the bill itself. So that's actually really cool there too. Again, Gina, she does seem to sort of have some form of care, at least for Nicholas anyway, and also as she shot him with some downers just to calm him down, so just to calm down the situation and make everything cool. And as we know, this episode ends normally with Warwick taking both Doug and Nicholas over to the doctor's house to go and get them both patched up and fixed up. However, things not looking good for Alice though, because it seems as though that somebody's come and is taking her away. And if I can guess anything, it probably has something to do with those bodies that ended up in that warehouse. And it also probably has something to do with that dude who Nicholas fought at the end of the second episode, who pretty much was talking to that one guy who was saying like that the handyman are pretty much becoming a problem. So if anything, it doesn't necessarily seems as though that like the next episode is going to be a heated one. I'm sorry to make this shit so long, but please tell me what you think about this down in the comment section. Catch you guys on the next Jongravesshow. If you like this video, please hit that like button. I'll see you next time. Please keep watching and make keep playing video games. I'm out.